Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Life with Shabomwe. Before we get into anything, I want to thank you guys for subscribing. For those of you who are new to the channel and you've subscribed and you're watching the videos, for those of you recommending, thank you so much, because I've noticed there's been a growth in the subscribers and in the views for some of the videos. Okay, now in this video I'm going to be telling you guys about why living in denial as a person is one of the worst things you can ever do for yourself, honey. Because personally, I've been there, done that. As I've said on this channel, when I come to talk about things, most of these things I'm speaking from personal experience. Okay, especially something like this, living in denial, because honey, I have lived in denial not once, not twice. Okay, no. The ghetto is where it was at one point for me. So if you're out there and you're also living your ghetto of living in denial, okay, lying to yourself, this video is for you, sweetheart. Okay, yes, I know a lot of us actively love to live in denial. Okay, and I know denial can be comfortable. Living in denial can be comfortable, can be comforting, but long term, it's just going to give you a headache. Okay, and you can even see people like, okay, but it's all out of living in denial, just okay. And that is one of the worst things you can ever do to yourself as a person. When you live in denial, it means you're lying to yourself, okay? And once you start to lie to yourself, you start to make all the wrong decisions. That even starts to eat away at your sanity, okay? Yes. Living in denial is one of the quickest way you can destroy yourself as a human. Yes, and a lot, as I've said, yes, I've lived in denial many times, okay? And it's very comfortable, it's comforting, it's soothing, but it's not it, okay? Living in denial is like you're poisoning your own self, okay? At one point as a person, if you cannot keep it real with yourself, okay, you are doomed, you are in big trouble. Okay, so anyway, I'm doing something different. I'm using the front camera to record this because it's really late at night and I just wanted to see how the video comes out, okay, because I've been struggling with light today. So how are we looking? Okay, we shall find out as we edit this. All right, so anyway, back to the whole point of living in denial. Okay, living in denial can be temporary. Okay, it's sustainable for a short time, but long term you can't sustain it. Okay, you find yourself losing too much your valuable time, your good 3 years. If you're a girl and you're living in denial about a relationship, you are risking losing your good 3 years, sweetheart. Okay, and of course this does not only apply to women, this applies to men as well. Please don't live in denial, okay? At the end of the day, you are lying to no one but yourself. Yes, living in denial is like putting a bandage, those little band-aids, the little cute ones, okay, and putting them over a very open wound, and you think long term it's going to work. It does not, okay? The more you continue to live in denial about whatever situation it is that you are in, the more you get depressed, the more you lose your self-esteem, because a lot of you need to understand that alone can take away your self-esteem. A lot of you need to understand living in denial equals to you lying to yourself, to you failing to keep it real with yourself. Okay? Now, that is a very dangerous thing, because once you start to lie to yourself as an individual, something is wrong. And what is wrong? You have lost yourself. You lose yourself in the lies. You lose yourself in wearing your rose-colored glasses. You lose yourself in failing to see the situation for what it is, the person for what it is, failing to realize there is no future with this person, failing to realize that this person does not like you or want you like that. Okay, so when you get to a point of you start to tell yourself lies, you start to begin to believe lies. You start to believe those lies and you lose yourself. You lose yourself. That is why you find yourself, some of you find yourself when you no longer know what your hobbies are, what you like, you don't know what you want out of this life. And it's a very dangerous thing. That is one of the worst things you can ever do for yourself. You're doing a huge disservice to yourself as a human every time you sit down and lie to yourself, every time you choose to live in denial about it could be the relationship, it could be the business, it could be where you are at in life. And when I talk about living in denial, you know, a lot of us now, every time we talk about things, we like to focus and direct everything to relationships. Okay? Living in denial can't be about relationships. It can be about you living in denial about where you are at in life. And you're simply living in denial about it and you're lying to yourself. And when you do that, you fail to even be able to hold yourself accountable, meaning you fail to find solutions to fix yourself. Yes, that is why no shango muntu ainetizivuna self-work. Because it is hard to work on yourself when you have allowed yourself to lose yourself, to living in denial, to the lies that you tell yourself. Okay? So, yes, I know it might sound crazy, but I have done it. I have lived through it. And these are things I just want to talk about and share openly. So you never know. It might make sense to someone. You never know who is watching, who it could help. Okay? So if you are in a marriage where you're being beaten, but then you want to come on these streets and pretend like, oh my God, he loves me, he buys me flowers. Sweetheart, you're living in denial. At the end of the day, you can paint a picture for the public, but behind closed doors, it's not going to change the fact that what is going on is actually going on. If there is disrespect being served in the relationship, you can live in denial all you want, thinking the more I stay, the more I devalue myself. You live in denial. Hey, you start to think maybe the more I do these threesomes, he will love me more. He will want to stay more. It is not going to work. Don't live in denial. That's the worst thing you can do, especially in a relationship setting. When you start to live in denial, especially when it comes to relationships, even in life, you lose your boundaries as a person. Yes. Why are you losing your boundaries? Because you are out here living in denial. So you are going to do anything and everything to prove a point. Yes, to protect that fake mask. You will do anything and everything to protect that mask you are wearing. Okay? So at the end of the day, keep it real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Yes, let someone lie to you, but don't live in denial about the relationship, your situation, what you want out of life. Even you as a person, do not live in denial when it is time to be accountable for your own bullshit. Yes, that is very important. And you have to be willing to accept that, yes, I have been living in denial about this. And it is time to act on it and do something about it, sweetheart. Yes. Living in denial does not change the situation. Living in denial, painting yourself a certain scenario, thinking it is going to change the narrative, or it is not. You want change, you have to be willing to work towards the change. But living in denial, sweetheart, you're crippling yourself. you're going to find yourself, hating your entire existence. Yes, it is comforting at the beginning, but long term you find yourself depressed. You find yourself with no direction. You get to a point where you have lost yourself, that it is hard to even get back yourself, to center yourself and be like, this is the direction I want to take. Yes, to break out of living in denial, especially if you have been doing it for a long time, takes a long time. So living in denial already, you're wasting time. To get out of that denial, you're also going to waste more time. So do yourself a favor and stop living in denial. Tell yourself the truth. Let the world lie to you, but don't lie to yourself. Yes, living in denial is going to have you out here doing all the wrong decisions, making all the wrong moves, thinking you want to prove a point to people, you want to piss people off, you want to, noenda kubereka. But there is a problem, okay, that needs to be identified. And once you identify that you have been living in denial, please go ahead and actively do something about it. Your future self will thank you. Yes, take it from me. I have lived in denial about my relationships, about my business, my clothing store. You live in denial. It's like a bandage. Very unsustainable. Okay? Long term, it drains you. It drains you because you actually end up seeking out other things to make you feel good. Okay, things like alcohol, things like partying, but you need to understand that is not going to change the fact that you are living in denial and refusing to accept something for what it is. Yes, a lot of you are depressed because you're living in denial. Living in denial causes depression, causes confusion. You find yourself devaluing yourself, picking yourself apart, comparing yourselves to people. Yes. Why do you have to compare yourself to someone? Because you are living in denial about your situation. So now you have to compare to at least help you feel better about your bullshit. Living in denial is not going to change anything, sweetheart. It is up to you to actively get up and do something about it. Make change. You want change, you have to go and look for the change. You have to be ready to start the change, bring the change, partake in the change actively. And most of the times when we are talking about that, we are talking about healing, because living in denial, to get out of it, you also have to be ready and open and willing to receive healing, to heal and let things go. Yes. Let me tell you, when you get to a point where you can keep it real with yourself, where you can no longer lie to yourself about anything in this life, that is the time you will find inner peace. And I can tell you from personal experience. Of course, this was after too much therapy, too much money. I recommend go to therapy. It will save you. Okay? Then you will get to figure out a few things about yourself. Okay? So living in denial, once you stop to live in denial, it is the day you find inner peace. Yes, where you get to a point you can sit with yourself comfortably and take accountability and take criticism from even yourself. You get to a point where you can check yourself. You're like, absolutely not. That was wrong. Absolutely. Yes, yes. One of the greatest gifts that come with living with when you stop to living in denial, when you stop to lie to yourself, okay, it is accountability. You start to take accountability, which is one of the most amazing things you can ever do for yourself. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to put this out there because I know a lot of us are living in denial. We think with time things will change, okay? I've done that, okay? It's comfortable and you have this high hope of, oh my God, it's going to get better, but I guarantee you it's not, okay? So if you feel like you have gotten to a point, if you know you watch this video and you accept you're living in denial, do something about it. You're not a tree, you can move. Even trees move, darling. Yes, the wind blows them away. Who are you? Who are you? If a tsunami can move a tree, my friend, you can also move yourself. You can remove yourself from that relationship, that unfulfilling commitment you're in. Everything you can remove yourself, let go of that job, that business. Of course, you have to have a plan, okay? But don't live in denial. Do not. Okay? Hey. Yes, so I just wanted to share it because I have been there, okay? I know it is one of the hardest things to break out of, living in denial, but I'm here to tell you I have done it. I have zero regrets. I no longer live in denial about anything in this life, okay? And I personally struggled with it for very many years, okay? Living in denial about the partner, about the future of the relationship, about the business, things like that. I have actively done this, but I'm here to tell you it does not get you results. You're just wasting valuable time, like precious time, wasting it on the wrong people, on the wrong opportunities, in the wrong, yes, putting money in the wrong businesses, putting money in the wrong people, keeping the wrong people around you, things like that. When you live in denial, you actively make your life stagnant. Yes, because you're going to be in denial about the people around you, the connections you make, the relationships you get into, the purpose of your connections. You end up like you become a whole entire living lie. Okay, I have done it, and that's something I had to break out of. It's not easy, but I'm here to tell you that thing is not it. Yes, living in denial, lying to yourself, the chief does not recommend. That's the worst thing you can ever do. That's one of the worst things you can do to yourself. To lie to yourself. Or you even look at yourself in the mirror and you're still lying to yourself. That's why I say a lot of you, there's a reason why a lot of you can't spend time with yourselves. Because you don't know who you are. You have lied to yourselves. You've lived in denial that it has even altered the things you want out of life. Because you're living in denial, okay? So please stop living in denial, okay? You are allowed to live your life. You change it around, live your truth, be comfortable in this life. Don't live this life uncomfortable, okay? So that's been it from me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you in another video. Bye.